Hello everybody! If you want to read all the story's content in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 676, The Misadventure of Mr Bumble's Umbrella. Upper beginner. Mr Bumble lived in a small town near the sea. Every morning he walked to the market with his bright red umbrella. He loved the umbrella because it made him look important, even when the sky was clear. One rainy Tuesday, Mr Bumble left his house at 8 o'clock. He opened his umbrella, but a strong wind blew it sideways. "Oh dear," he shouted. The umbrella turned inside out and flew away like a kite. It landed on the roof of Mrs Finch's bakery. Mrs Finch was busy putting fresh scones on a tray. She looked up and saw a red parachute stuck on her roof. "What on earth?" she laughed. She called Mr Bumble on the phone. "Mrs Finch, my umbrella has run away," Mr Bumble said, sounding embarrassed. Mrs Finch invited him over. "Come quickly, I'll get it down for you." She fetched a ladder, climbed up, and pulled the tangled umbrella off the roof. As she handed it back, a sudden gust knocked the ladder over. Both of them tumbled onto a pile of soft scones. They lay there, covered in crumbs, laughing. "Maybe the umbrella wanted a snack," Mrs Finch joked. From that day on, Mr Bumble kept his umbrella closed when the weather was fine. He also bought a second, smaller umbrella for rainy days, just in case the first one decided to go on another adventure. And every time he sees a kite in the sky, he smiles, remembering the day his umbrella became a flying pastry catcher. Vocabulary notes. Misadventure, a funny or unlucky accident, something that goes wrong in an unexpected way. Example, A Misadventure of Mr Bumble's Umbrella. The title tells us the whole tale is about an unexpected problem with the umbrella. Similar words: mishap, blunder, accident. Inside out. Turned the opposite way so that the inner side is now on the outside. Example, the umbrella turned inside out and flew away like a kite. Similar words: reversed, flipped, turned inside out. Parachute, used figuratively. Something that hangs or drifts down slowly like a parachute. Here it describes the umbrella stuck on the roof. Example, she looked up and saw a red parachute stuck on her roof. Similar words: canopy, sail, hanging piece. Tumble, to fall or roll over in a clumsy way. Example, both of them tumbled onto a pile of soft scones. Similar words: fall, roll, collapse. Crumble, to break into small pieces, especially when something is soft, also used for food that falls apart. Example, they lay there, covered in crumbs, laughing. The word crumbs comes from the verb to crumble. Similar words: break, shatter, disintegrate. Story written by Lumo AI. Image created by onemin.ai. To read all the story's content in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. CC Music, Drifting at 432 Hz, Unicorn Heads.
Okay, let's get started. For today's deep dive, we're doing something a little different. We're focusing on just one source.
Right, a single short story. It's called The Misadventure of Mr. Bumble's Umbrella, usually abbreviated UpB. It's aimed at language learners.
Exactly. And our mission really is to pull out the charming bits, the narrative tricks, and see how it teaches vocabulary so effectively with, a pretty simple plot.
It's surprisingly efficient, isn't it? So we meet Mr. Bumble first, lives near the sea, daily walk to the market.
And he has this bright red umbrella.
Which he loves.
Yeah.
But not because it keeps him dry. The story makes it clear he carries it because it makes him feel, well, important.
Yeah, that detail's great. It sets him up perfectly. That little bit of vanity, wanting to look important, it makes what happens next even better.
It does. So the misadventure itself kicks off. It's specific. 8 o'clock, rainy Tuesday. Classic setup.
And then the wind. It's not just a breeze. It's described as strong. Strong enough to grab the umbrella and flip it inside out.
Instantly.
Yeah.
And then it just takes off like a kite. That's the quote.
That visual is key. But let's talk about the language there for a second. The title uses misadventure.
Right, which signals immediately this isn't going to be a disaster. It's, an unlucky accident, probably a bit funny. It sets the tone.
And the term inside out, it's so physical. You immediately picture that poor umbrella mangled by the wind.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It forces you to visualize the scene. No ambiguity.
I think that sudden switch, from this dignified guy trying to look important to him suddenly chasing this broken thing flying away, that's part of the charm.
Absolutely. So this red thing, where does it land?
It lands on a roof, specifically Mrs. Finch's bakery roof.
Ah, the bakery.
Hmm.
And she's there.
Yep, busy putting out fresh scones. She looks up, sees this red heap on her roof, and her immediate reaction is priceless. She calls it a red parachute.
A parachute. See, that's brilliant, that figurative description. It's much more memorable than just saying the umbrella landed.
Totally. It gives it this temporary, funny identity. A red parachute made of umbrella.
And it probably helps learners remember parachute, too, linking it to this unexpected image.
Good point. So Mrs. Finch, she doesn't just stand there. She calls Mr. Bumble over. She's going to help.
Okay, the rescue attempt.
She gets a ladder, wants to retrieve this tangled umbrella, as the story calls it now. So she climbs up.
Right, and just as she's maybe handing it down or getting ready to, another gust of wind.
Bam! Knocks the ladder.
Oh, no. So they fall.
They don't just fall. The story uses a fantastic word here. It says they tumble.
Tumble, yes. That's perfect. It's not a graceful fall, is it? It implies like rolling clumsiness. It's inherently comical.
Exactly. It's not painful. It's awkward and funny. And where do they tumble?
Let me guess. Not onto the hard pavement.
Onto a huge pile of soft scones she just put out.
No. Oh, that's wonderful. Soft landing, at least.
A very soft, very buttery landing. And naturally, they end up covered in crumbs.
Of course. Covered in evidence.
And Mrs. Finch, apparently lying there amidst the scone debris, she cracks a joke. She says, maybe the umbrella wanted a snack.
Huh? That's great. It keeps the whole thing light. And that word, crumbs, it connects directly back to the scones crumbling under them.
It ties it all together, doesn't it? The fall, the landing spot, the aftermath, action, description, consequence, all very neat.
Very neat, very memorable. So this experience, it changes Mr. Bumble a bit.
Oh, yeah. He learns his lesson. The story says now he keeps that big red umbrella, the important one, tightly closed, unless it's actually, pouring rain.
Sensible.
And he bought a second umbrella, a smaller, more practical one just for rainy days. The vanity umbrella is saved for appearances.
He adapted, found a workaround. It's a practical resolution.
It is, and there's a nice final touch about memory.
What's that?
It says that now, whenever Mr. Bumble sees a kite flying, he smiles. He remembers the day his umbrella became what was your phrase? A flying pastry catcher?
Ah, yes. That image sticks. It connects the initial chaos, flying like a kite, with the final comical result. It seals the memory.
So pulling it all together for you listening, what this simple story really shows us is how effectively you can learn or teach vocabulary and ideas.
Yeah, it's about embedding them. Yeah. Embedding them right into a memorable sequence of events, especially one with a bit of comical chaos.
The structure is the lesson. Using specific words like tumble isn't just about describing movement. It's about conveying the feeling, the humor of the situation.
Exactly. The word choice does a lot of heavy lifting.
Which leaves us with a final thought to, tumble around in your mind. If the funniest, maybe slightly embarrassing part, landing in a pile of stones, is the bit that makes the story unforgettable, does that mean knowledge, real learning, truly sticks best when it arrives with a side of delightful, unexpected chaos?
Something you definitely ponder. Especially next time the wind gets feisty with your own umbrella.